What was I saying?
Well,
Nirvana, you know. So
opening the
the,
Sushumna,
yeah, and that's how
and then the Shakti rises up
yes,
to Shiva in the head.
yes. So that is the union.
The
Right?
union
Yeah,
of
that is
Shakti and Shiva.
Shiva and Shakti
From a,
union symbolically. It means the real one is this,
mhm.
right? That once this rises and goes up here, then that is the union. And when there is a union of Shiva and Shakti, like the sex union, like the male and female coming together to perform sex, and that is complete ecstasy, you know. So that ecstasy which is there.
But also metaphorically, it's ecstasy, even if you're not having sex.
Yes.
Just to
Yeah,
have the
this
Shakti
is
energy
yeah,
rise.
this is like explained this way. The sexual ecstasy is temporary.
Mhm.
It'll last for a few
Like
seconds.
drugs.
Yeah,
Right.
like drugs. Like it'll last for a certain amount of time and then it is finished. It's gone.
Yeah.
Then you will have no recollection. You will have no. You feel like you're empty.
Mhm.
Mind like becomes like dull kind of thing. So that is explained here. Now the union of this of Shakti here, right, in the chakra, that is, and that is permanent. You will not lose that at all. It'll be with you now, always. Right? Now because the cycle will continue. Right? The nectar will start flowing and then go back also. It'll drop and that will make the sound, which is like the celestial sound.
The what sound?
The celestial sound. That's sound.
Celestial.
Yeah, that is the
Right.
nad.
Uh-huh.
In the sound of the nad, and that means
Right.
the nectar dropping into your Manipuri chakra, and that creates a sound. And that you can feel the vibration.
So once this unification has occurred, there's also a dissolution, a laya,
Yes.
and it returns back
Yes.
to the Manipura.
Yeah.
And then you have the skill and ability to do that whenever you
Yes, because it
want,
goes on. It becomes
right.
a cycle now. It goes into the Manipuri, then to the
Right.
Swadhisthana, then to the root. Then again it rises through the Sushumna,
Right.
and there is a cycle. And once you achieve this cycle, that is nirvana, and that is bliss. That is what Sahajan also talks about.
Right.
Sahajan in Sahajan Buddhism, this is what they emphasize on to achieve nirvana. In Sahajan, they say without any strenuous exercises and things like that. That is what Sahajan. And Sahajan has very much emphasis on sunya.
Emptiness.
Sunya, that is the emptiness, the
Yeah.
voidness. And the sunya, where he says, they say like the mind is sunya. If you can make your mind sunya, that means when there is nothing in your mind,
Right.
then that is nirvana.
Yeah.
This is what Sahajan teaches. And
But the Sahaja yogis are married. And so it actually, they're not celibate.
no, they're not celibate because here the question of being celibate and not being celibate is, totally related to the practice of yoga. And practice of yoga, like that is why Gorakhnath, he emphasized on celibacy. You see, so that you can have an early nirvana, you achieve your goal, and then you keep practicing. That means when your mind, like in Sahajan Buddhism, this is like your mind has to be sunya. When it becomes totally empty and void, that means now you have no problems. That's what it means, right? You don't have to solve your problems anymore now. It's being solved.
Yeah.
You know. Now what you do, then okay, I don't have any problems now. I have nothing. What am I going to do then on this planet? That is when you step out with your right foot,
And you become a bodhisattva.
and then you go into the people because now it's the people's problem because you don't have any problem, right? Now you
So
get
you're using nirvana as a synonym with moksha,
yeah.
not with samadhi.
Yeah, not going into samadhi, but having nirvana, right? And staying back to help.
Help all other
Yeah,
sentient
all
beings
sentient beings.
get out of samsara
yes, every
and
being.
out of suffering,
Yes,
dukkha.
yeah, to release them from because now your dukkha is gone. That's what it says. Like once you have nirvana, that is, it cleans your dukkha. There's a very good example regarding Nagarjuna here.
Mm.
When Nagarjuna was born in South India, he was born, no? And when he was born, what happened was when the astrologers predicted his, Kundalini, his astrological structure, then they found that he was not going to have a long life, and he was going to die after 6 or 7 years. You
Mm.
know, his death would come. So that became very fearful for his parents, and they were worried also about him. They didn't know what to do, how they could really, because it was already written, and they knew like it was going to happen. You know, so he had this. He was going to die. So what their parents did was, okay, because he's going to die after so many years, there's nothing that is going to stop his death, right? So they didn't want to see their son die in front of him. So they, took some guru there again, and then told, maybe it was a bhikshu or something, and told them to take Nagarjun with him, take him to all the all the sacred places for darshan, so, because he's going to pass out. Right? Let, let him also have good darshan of pious things. So that is their parents. They had this idea, right? Because anyway, he was going to die. That was what the astrologers predicted about Nagarjuna. So that's how this guy was taken. Nagarjuna was taken by this bhikshu, I think. And then they reached Nalanda.
Mm.
When they reached Nalanda, he was very still small. His death was going to come. And then in Nalanda, when the people who were there, the bhikshus who were there in Nalanda, when they found him, and and then they heard his story, yeah, and then they said, okay, don't worry about this. We will keep him here in Nalanda, because once he enters our sect, right, and then he goes through our ritual, then nothing is going to trouble him. His
Mm.
dukkha will be gone,
Mm. Mm.
you know. And so
Right. So he was
this
there from quite as a child
yeah, as a child.
and was trained.
Yeah, and then these bhikshus who were there, they really liked this guy. That's why they wanted to take him.
And
They
he
say,
became the director of
yeah, he became
Nalanda,
the rector, or
the
the
principal.
the chief of
Yeah.
Nalanda, Nagarjuna. So as a child, he got entry into Nalanda. And it was difficult to get entry into
Yeah.
Nalanda at that time,
Right.
because you had to have skills and knowledge and things like that before, like go through an examination, like an entrance examination. It was difficult kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
But he just passed, Arjuna. And they said, okay, you come and stay with us, and let's see what's going to happen to you, whether you're going to die or not.
Right.
So once he was initiated into the right Sangha, and he started living with the Sangha, nothing happened to him. He didn't die. you know.
Yeah.
And there is another connection with Nagarjuna with his friend, his childhood friend, and they were from the royal family, I think. Like the kings and the prince, and he was that prince was his friend. And then there was another prediction also about the king. You know, the king will die only after Nagarjuna dies. You know, Nagarjuna dies, then the king will also die.
Which king?
Of their place in South India. That
Oh,
was
okay.
I forgot the names and things like that. I know the basic story. So the king would also die
Mm.
only when Nagarjuna dies.
Right.
But Nagarjuna didn't die because he was taken into the Sangha, the Buddhist
Right.
Sangha in Nalanda, and then he practiced there with the monks, and then he didn't die at all, right? He became a yogi, a great yogi. He even became the chief of this
Yeah.
university at that time. You see? And then what happened now here in South India? What was going on? The prince want to become the king, and king is not dying. His father is not dying because Nagarjuna is still alive.
Mm.
You see?
I see.